Today's Google antitrust ruling effectively meant that Justice Brinkma ruled that Google is liable for antitrust violations in the ad technology ecosystem. And that was across three claims. The first claim being DFP, the ad server, the second claim being AdX, the ad exchange, and the third claim being tying DFP and AdX together. As it pertains to index exchange or this ecosystem overall, what's not clear at this juncture is what, if any, remedies are going to be tabled in response to this antitrust ruling, whether they be structural or otherwise. That's going to be forthcoming as part of the proceedings to now follow.
You actually had a front row seat. You testified at the trial, and you also mentioned that you testified that Google Stack was a direct threat to header bidding. So, if divestiture happens, what needs to happen then to ensure the open web doesn't regenerate into some other kind of walled garden?
Yeah, that's a really good question. With respect to potential divestiture or remedies, I think in the event of a divestiture of either ADX or DFP or both, there will have to be guidelines imposed on the divestiture that would prevent a reassembly, at least in an environment where those assets still maintain such a significant share of the market, which I really think was the primary subject of this trial. If you think of the open web and specifically display advertising, DFP maintains an incredibly large share of that overall market. And so I think in that context, there would have to be some kind of a guideline to prevent a reassembly. Otherwise, we would potentially see the same thing happen again, in a few years' time or what have you.
And the ruling really focused on the sell side tools and not so much on the buy side, or not at all. Do you think the DOJ missed an opportunity here?
Index Exchange is a sell side company. Our customer is the publisher. And so my testimony in the trial was really largely specific to the sell side. I'm not really in a position to comment on the merits of the case from the buy side. Hard to comment, from where we sit over here.
What are some of the key remedies you think the court could impose that would actually move the needle on competition?
I think any form of divestiture is highly likely here. I think the question is one or both assets, one being DFP and both being DFP and ADX. I don't think you would necessarily require both assets to be divested, but I think that'll be on the table. If not divestiture, then I think there would have to be a significant change in the operating model behind the platforms. Any kind of black box or any obfuscation of decisioning would probably not be permitted. It would have to be far more transparent. But I'm not a legal scholar in this arena, so I'll leave this to the courts, and I think they'll make the ultimate decision here that'll be in the best interest of the market and really a thriving and competitive marketplace that drives maximum value ultimately to publishers who are looking to extract as much working media as possible and better outcomes for marketers by driving down the cost of ad tech.
You said that testifying at the trial was one of the most intimidating experiences of your life. Given the stakes, what was it that made you compelled to take the stand?
Well, I'll say subpoenas are very effective. That was definitely what preceded my testimony. Look, we are really proud of the work that we do in the market on behalf of our customers, and I think we had a lot of very valuable experiences to share in the trial that I hope played, some small part in getting us to this point. But otherwise, yeah, I was under subpoena, so it wasn't particularly optional.
And are you hopeful that something actually is going to happen in the near future, or do you expect this is going to take many more years to see change?
Um, I think if anything, this has all happened pretty fast. The trial was just this past fall. So if you kind of look at how fast the trial ran to even get to this judgment, it's pretty quick. I think there's a fair amount of speculation that from here there might be appeals or what have you. I have no idea what to expect. It could still be years before we see any actual change. Perhaps there's a settlement that is established as well that could shorten that time horizon, but I wouldn't expect any change in the immediate, given how long these proceedings typically go. But at least at this juncture, things have moved pretty quickly for what it's worth.